Good morning. Here's a very nice sunny day again here in the UK. And I was thinking about the weapons, and today I'd like to talk about the Ken. Because while we're in this COVID lockdown, very few around the world are able to do Taijutsu, unless your partner that you live with, you can do it, or you're in a bubble. All those empty dojos around the world, losing the energy from the walls. It's very sad. Hopefully you know what I mean. Especially those of you who own dojos. Must be a very sad time for you. I remember one dojo I had, I really loved it, in my garden, my largest dojo. I used to go in there, and even on a cold day, the energy in the walls was still vibrant and warm. You could get a good fix just walk into the dojo. You didn't really have to do much, just walk around, gaze, not even think about Aikido. But the one thing Saito Sensei told me at an early stage, he gave me my Ken and Jo. He chose them for me. A great honour. I still have them today. The Jo's okay, the Ken's got a few splinters. I'm lucky really, because most people would have shattered theirs by now. But I have had a lot of others in between because I didn't want to spoil them and wear them out. But while I was following him for around about 20 years, I always took them with me because my connection with him was my Ken and Jo. On YouTube I see some really good Aikido weapons demonstrations. As I'm talking about the Ken today, I watched them, and these are not by Iwama trained students. They're in their own right teachers. The Iwama Ken is handled very differently and thought of very differently than many of the Kens that are taught in the flowing arts. The flowing arts of Aikido, the styles, they tend to do Kashima Bokken, Iaido style. It's all about fighting, sword against sword, cutting opponents. Where my belief is the Iwama Ken is totally the opposite. Totally the opposite. It's all about where should my body be at a certain place. If I can atemi from the feeling of my body through to the Ken to stop the other person, it's the same as my fist coming at the right moment. I watched the people do this, and even in real life I watched this, and when they have a Ken and they're with other people, I can see that even when it's fast, they don't have time to think of cutting, killing, striking. But the actions you can see are all meant to cut, strike, thrust, as if they had a katana, a real live sword in their hand, there wouldn't be any difference. It would be just the same. This is the total opposite to Osensei's beliefs. How can you, like the picture behind me, how can you have open arms to the whole world, offering them love, if you're going to learn an art and then pick up a wooden sword or a real sword and start thinking of it as a killing machine or a set of movements where you can kill, thrust, cut the person. We do the saburis for personal practice. And when Saito Sensei gave me the Kenenjo, he said, tell the person when they're a beginner to buy a ken, a jo and a gi. If, like you, he said, have a dojo, please put mirrors in the dojo so that you can practice in front of the mirrors to check yourself. And I done this in this dojo that had the wonderful energy. And I would go in there on my own, and this is what I'm encouraging you to do. If you don't have a dojo or a mirror, find a window that will give you a reflection, a patio door, anything that will give you a reflection. And just simply do swinging the ken. Try to take out of your mind that you're cutting anybody or you're extending forward. There must be no aggression whatsoever, no want of hurting anyone. This is a practice just between you and the swing of your ken. I'm going to show you a picture from my book. And Saito Sensei used to teach us a lot outside the dojo as well as inside. I want to show you, this is a common thing that we see here. You'll notice that the arms are very wide at the elbows. They're wider than the width of my body. I put an X on this picture to show you that it's wrong. On the next picture, you will see my elbows are brought in more. Okay. The reason is it's important when you're lifting your ken, but it's more important when you're coming down with your ken, because in a real situation, you're going forward when you bring your ken down. The lifting, you're not. So as a test in front of the mirror or window, as you are about to come down, just draw your elbows in. Sensei said, if your elbows are the width of your shoulders, you could walk through a door frame as you cut. If your elbows are wider than your body, your elbows would get stuck on the sides of the door frame. Just a very simple analogy, but I hope one you can understand. In time, try to keep the elbows from going wide at all, so they're contained within. You can see my shoulders here. I purposely set the camera just for the shoulder width, so you can see rather than my torso. If my elbows go outside, then you can see they're wider. I would never get through the door frame. As I bring them in, but I'm still looking through, I bring them to it and then I bring them down. This will give you an accurate straight cut. You may feel that you're inside what I call a box. You may feel tension. It may feel very tight to you. Work on it, and in time it will not feel tight because you will relax more. You won't be trying so hard to get everything correct. Once you get your saburi, your first saburi, in this natural swinging position without extending your elbows, you've already learnt a great lesson on how to be contained, accurate and comfortable. Elbows too wide, you will not get through the door. Aikido, well, Sensei's Aikido is simplicity and detail. And this is one detail that I'd like to give you, because many of you are practicing the weapons at the moment. Do not think of killing, do not think of striking, just think of swinging the ken. In one of the early films, a voiceover of a black and white film of Saito Sensei says, "When lost, go back to basics." This is a basic movement, and what you'll find from that is you will learn not to overextend in many other fields. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying them. Thank you.